Hello guys, Michael here. Bad boys versus kind guys. What is happening here exactly? Let's say that you are a kind guy, a nice guy, and when you are with women, you are so polite. You never want to step on the toes and you just agree with everything. And she's talking and she's explaining things and you just agrees, all right? And additionally to that, you invite them for dinners, expensive ones that you pay for. You buy her drinks, you invite her for other venues, and yet she's choosing the other guy who have bad behaviors and is simply just a bad guy. So why is that happening? Well, we're going to look into that in this video. So we're going to dig deeper into behavioral science in a pretty simplistic form. All right? And this is going to be part one of a three-part series because we're going to talk about behavioral science called the signaling theory. All right? When I say signaling theory, I'm talking about the signals women get in the brain to read a situation of a certain person like you. So those three signals is, the first one is non-neediness, the second one is social proof, and the third one is willing to be disliked. In this video, we're going to talk about the first one, the non-neediness part. So let's say now that you figured out that being a nice guy doesn't work. Women just don't want you. They're choosing the guys that are opposite to you, like mean guys, arrogant guys, bad boys. So what do you do then? Well, you go into the internet and you check how to become more attractive. And that is when you stumble on a lot of misconceptions and toxic materials such as pickup artist stuff, routines, scripted games, manosphere, self-hack in terms of mindset and how to power yourself and all that. I'm not saying that all of that is bad, but there are way more misconceptions than what actually works. And being the right type of guy is actually not far away from who you are at this moment. But there are some tweaks that I want to talk about in this video and in the other two videos. So let's get into the signal of non-neediness. When she gets that signal in her brain that a guy is a non-needy guy, she will be okay with him to continue with relationship building. If she gets the signal of him being a needy guy, she could just, shut off immediately and just label him as not attractive. Just like that. So it's very important to not be in the needy guy category, so to speak, because that is a very bad signal in her brain. All right? So when you are being super nice to a woman and giving her all those things that I explained earlier, she would feel like you want something in exchange. It could be approval to become closer to her, intimacy-wise, like closer to her physically. You want to start to kiss her, you want to start to hug her, you want to start to hold her hand, you want to have sex with her eventually. And she's not ready for it because even though you be nice and everything like that, the price is too high. She don't want to sell herself to you, even though you bought the dinner, the drinks, and all that. So the impression you get when you are being super polite in conversations where you agree with everything and are in addition to paying for everything and all that, is that she feels like she owe you something that she don't want to owe you. And she feel like you need her approval. Like, I did all this kind of thing and now you just need to be okay with me being close to you. That's a typical approval. And she don't want to give you that. And she feel like you want this approval. You don't give her like all those stuff and being kind because you just want to. You're doing it because you want something. That is a flag of being needy. So how can you fix this then? Well, it's a very simple fix. You need to get deeper in conversation to fix it. And you will fix it super fast if you know how to do it. You see, most of the time when you're talking to women, like most guys in the world, I would say 99% of all guys there, they are talking with women in a superficial level. Because when we see beautiful women, they trigger us enough to go very, very far with her. All right? But women, they they need a lot more context before they're doing something. So they feel attracted towards you through relationship building. But if you never start a relationship building process, nothing will happen. And everything starts with communication. All right? Once you start being curious about her, for real, not only knowing that she's a nurse, but what was the number one reason she became a nurse? Before she became a nurse, what came to her mind? Now when she's a nurse, was it as she expected? And what is the really good things? What is she good at? What is not so good? And how does she see that in the future? Bam, you're now into the exploration mode. And when you are in that mode, all the neediness just disappearing. Because now she can feel like you're not needy, you're just curious about me. You're just kind to me in forms of no one to know who I am exactly. And therefore, this guy don't seek approval. He just like being with me. Because if he don't like to be with me, then he don't ask those questions. On the other hand, if he want to sleep with me, if he want to be physical with me, then he would do all these things just to get me into bed. You see? All that is communicating to her, subconsciously through signals. And this is the first signals, the non-neediness. Is she needy or is he not needy? So that is the first step. You need to learn how to have deep conversations. That is the best and the quickest way to get away from the neediness. But how come that the bad boys can succeed then? Well, bad boys are not very good communicators. Some of them are, but in general, no. They're like all other guys. But they do one thing that wins over the nice guy. And that is that he is not signaling that he's needy. So he's signaling, or her brain get the impression of him that he's not a needy person. He wants her, but he don't need her. You see? He don't need her approval. He don't need her. If he do something for her, it's because he want to. Not because he need to or want something in exchange. Nice guys is doing it all the time. And that's why her brain is signaling neediness is just no directly. So the bad boys win then. Because the bad boy doesn't signaling I'm needy. So that is one of the main reasons. All right? And if you want to learn this, you want to take the first step to actually see how to approach this in the best possible way that is based on real science, then I made a free training video for you. If you look in the description, you will see a link. Click on it, get free access, and check the first step on how to be really good at this. And if you find that this video gave you value, click on the like button. You do me a good favor. And make sure to watch part 2 and part 3 about social proof and willing to dislike. All right? Subscribe so you don't miss it. And I see you in the next one.